Coming up on Around San Diego, 2 shot and killed in their car right in front of the courthouse. That led to a police shootout in Little Italy. What we know about the officer hit and the connection between the suspect and victims. And you may start noticing more painted red curbs, what this means for street parking. Plus, the honor just given to one stretch of our beautiful coastline. Around San Diego starts now. Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us as we take you around San Diego. I'm CBS 8's Jenny Day. I'll get you caught up on a week's worth of news and look ahead in less than 30 minutes. We do begin with that double homicide downtown that led to a police shootout in Little Italy. That left the suspect dead and one officer injured. The shooter has been identified as 26-year-old Christopher Farrell. The 2 people he's accused of killing while sitting in their car outside of the downtown courthouse are Rachel Martinez and Jose Medina. The married couple had filed restraining orders against Farrell, who we have learned was Rachel's ex. The victims were killed just 30 minutes before a scheduled hearing on those restraining orders. One witness who works at Juniper and Ivy there in Little Italy said he heard the description of the gunman, saw a helicopter circling overhead, and then realized the suspect was right in front of him.
I looked down to see if it was him, and he looked up at me and said hi. Yeah. And then my heart dropped. And I knew he heard the chopper, and I heard the chopper, so I was like, oh man, like, does he know I know who he is?
Yeah, kind of chilling. Police arrived shortly after that, and they say within seconds, Farrell fired shots at them. 2 officers fired back, and that suspect was killed. And a Harbor police officer was also shot and wounded, but is expected to survive. CBS 8 has also learned Farrell worked as a security guard for a company that had a contract with MTS. He was reportedly let go by his employer about a month ago. Well, now to the election. President-elect Donald Trump just laid the groundwork for his border policies, and local immigrant rights groups are now preparing. Trump has vowed to begin a mass deportation plan to expel all undocumented immigrants beginning on day 1 of taking office. In preparation, he has now named Tom Oman to carry out this plan. As acting director of ICE during Trump's first administration, Oman was one of the creators of the zero tolerance policy, leading to the separation of thousands of migrant children from their parents. Immigrant rights groups are now gearing up for the challenges that may lie ahead.
What we want people to do is to inform themselves about what their rights are.
A lot of people say, the talk over mass.
Yeah, President Trump's appointment of Oman as his new border czar does not require congressional approval. Meantime, California Governor Gavin Newsom was in Washington, D.C. this week, seeking help from the Biden administration for federal protections ahead of the next Trump presidency. He met with California's congressional delegation as well. Newsom's trip to D.C. comes after he called for a legislative special session next month to prepare for litigation against Trump policies on issues including reproductive freedom, clean vehicle policies, immigrant protections, and disaster response. Well, the city of San Diego has finished a massive cleanup of encampments under Interstate 5 along Friars Road. It's an area known as the Island. CBS 8's Brian White gives us a firsthand look at those results.
It took 4 days of hard work. Crews clearing out more than 62 tons of debris and waste here along the San Diego riverbed, where nearly 100 people were living.
This area did attract a lot of people due to its proximity of having good shelter. People don't tend to come out here. It's away from people.
We showed you the Island, as it's called, back in August. You could see tents, furniture, people cooking food, and using rafts to get back and forth. Last Tuesday, I rode with lifeguards on a small boat to the island to get a close-up look at all the trash left behind. And after 4 days of cleanup, Franklin Coopersmith with Environmental Services gave me a tour of the results.
We had a fire pit here before. We had a couple encampments in there as well, so you can see everything is gone.
We came across this needle at one point. Franklin tells me they contract with Clean Harbors to dispose of any hazardous materials like human waste and propane tanks. They wanted to get the encampments and trash cleared out before the next rainy season.
When you start getting a king tide, you start getting some water coming down, this whole thing will be gone.
Last year, the city received a $3.6 million grant from the state to help with outreach efforts before clearing encampments like this. The Homelessness Strategies and Solutions Department provided case management and street medicine over the past 4 months. Some people were admitted to safe sleeping sites and other types of shelter.
We do know that some people will want to return, so we do have park rangers that are going to be assigned to this area. We will be checking ourselves, as well as our hot team from our neighborhood policing division will be here as well.
For the next phase, they'll be moving east along the San Diego River around Fashion Valley to continue with more outreach and cleanups. Brian White, CBS 8.
Brian, thanks. Well, Chula Vista has officially declared a state of emergency to combat the South Bay sewage crisis. Every day, millions of gallons of untreated sewage from Mexico pour into the Tijuana River Valley. Now, this local state of emergency enables Chula Vista's top official to work with local, federal, and Mexican authorities to improve conditions. This includes lobbying for more federal funding to upgrade and repair the sewage treatment plant here in the U.S.
Untreated sewage flows into the river has had significant environmental, economic, and public health impacts, affecting thousands of residents across our region, including here in Chula Vista.
Yeah, for decades now. And just last month, San Diego City Council voted in favor of urging the federal government to declare a national state of emergency to address this crisis. And the city of San Diego has started painting more curbs red to prepare for a new law that's about to go into effect. It aims to address something called daylighting, which is the idea of opening up intersections by eliminating those blind spots. The new law, AB 413, makes it illegal for cars to park within 20 feet of corners. This is designed to reduce the risk of injuries by making it easier for drivers to see pedestrians, cyclists, or other cars who, without the law, might be hidden by parked vehicles.
Under the California state law, enforcement can begin January 1st, 2025. But in order to continue to educate those that are within the city of San Diego, we will be issuing warnings for the first 60 days.
Yeah, so the city says you can still be ticketed even if the curb isn't painted red. The city council still has to approve the fine, but it's expected to be $65. And despite efforts to improve safety for pedestrians and cyclists in San Diego, the number of deaths is higher now than it was a decade ago. A new report from Circulate San Diego shows 10 years ago, we had 25 pedestrian or cyclist deaths. Since 2021, it's hovered right around 35. Not good. Study authors note it could be attributed to a number of things. Drivers distracted by phones. Cars are also bigger and faster. Circulate San Diego says the city has made big strides in its safety plan to reduce deaths, but more needs to be done.
We need to redouble our efforts. When we make these great plans and things get worse, people start to lose confidence in our good intentions. We can't wait 10 years for traffic safety.
And let's all do better. So the city also made it clear it is invested millions to make our streets safer for pedestrians and says it will continue to make this a priority. Now to growing frustration in several neighborhoods across the city of San Diego over broken streetlights. Some haven't been working for years, leaving streets dangerously dark. People in North Pacific Beach say they have filled out multiple Get It Done reports. We found a similar situation there in Point Loma. The city says that they only have 18 electricians to fix and maintain all 60,000 streetlights. Another problem is aging infrastructure. But city leaders admit waiting years to fix streetlights is not acceptable.
Unfortunately, the average Get It Done response time right now for streetlight outages is around 350 days. That's not the desired level of service that we want to provide. When our crews get out here, they have to look at many different things. Is there underground wiring issues? Is it a fixture issue? Is it simple as a bulb? It's usually not as simple as just changing the bulb.
Yeah, but there is some good news for people in North PB. A capital project has been funded to fix the lights, and it is currently in the design stage, so hopefully the lights will come back on for good sometime next year. Unfortunately, as of right now, though, Point Loma has not been funded, so it's not clear when those lights will be restored. Well, San Diego is known for its sparkling coast, but now one stretch of La Jolla is receiving a new honor. Our Sean Stiles dives into the history of this part of the coast next. Welcome back. We're, of course, known for our beautiful coastline, and one stretch of the La Jolla coast is now part of the National Register of Historic Places. CBS 8's Sean Stiles dives into the history of this coastline and explains the significance of this honor.
When you walk along this stretch of coastline from Whale View Point all the way up to Devil's Slide along Coast Walk, you have to say this is one of the most beautiful places in all of San Diego. Well, now the La Jolla Park Coastal District has been placed on the National Register of Historic Places, preserving this stretch of coastline for generations to come.
This recognizes its importance to the founding and development of La Jolla from 1887 to 1940. There was a glass-bottom boat that my mom used to talk about, which must have been fabulous. You could look through the glass at all the marine life underneath.
Without getting wet.
Shona MacArthur is the chair of the La Jolla Historical Landmark Group. Their effort began in 2018, getting the designation in May of 2024. She says the National Park Service is very particular on how districts are formed.
Fortunately, because our developers of the town of La Jolla used Coast Boulevard and what was originally Cave Street, today's Coast Walk, as the boundary for setting aside this land for the public.
Starting in the north at Torrey Pines Road and Coast Walk is where you'll find Devil's Slide.
It's over 100 million years old cliffs with terraces where all of the sea life, lives.
Next are the cliffs, home to cormorant, pelican, seagull, and the 7 caves. The most famous, Sunny Jim's Cave, which can be accessed through the Cave Store, the longest open business in La Jolla. The Cove has always been center stage.
Originally, there was a huge 2 bathhouses that were built overlooking the sea that accommodated a lot of the tent campers.
Around the corner, La Jolla Point, which is now a rookery for sea lions.
And then as you go further south, the Belvedere's in the park. This big park, 5.6 acres, was the focal point of the town.
Tucked along the bluffs is Boomers Beach and Shell Beach, followed by
the children's pool is really a great example of how a philanthropist like Ellen Browning Scripps really cared about this coastline, about the marine life.
At the south end, Whale View Point.
Believe it or not, those flat rocks to the south were some of the most popular tourist attractions in the 1900s.
The great thing about this designation, it was done completely with volunteers. So if you'd like to get involved, I'll have a link on this web story on our website so you can get involved. Sean Stiles, CBS 8.
So cool and well-deserved, Sean, thanks. Next on Around San Diego, helping you and our planet, we have your guide to an eco-friendly holiday season. You've got to see this. Researchers at Scripps Institution of Oceanography say another oarfish washed up along our coast in Encinitas. They tell us the deep-sea creature is about 9 to 10 feet long. Scientists are still trying to figure out why they're washing up here. The oarfish is known in some areas of the world as the doomsday fish, actually. It is said to be able to predict natural disasters. Yikes. So if you do come across one, call lifeguards or notify Scripps. Well, the holiday season is a time for celebrations and gatherings, of course, but it can also lead to increased pollution across San Diego. Now a new campaign is helping you stay festive while taking care of our local environment. Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis shares tips that might keep you off Santa's naughty list in this Earth 8 report.
Spooky season is out, but hey, you can still repurpose those pumpkins. Also talking about the holiday season all the way into Christmas, Project Clean Water has their own eco-friendly take on the 12 days of Christmas on how you can preserve our county.
Between Thanksgiving and New Year's Eve, we see a 25% increase in household waste across the county. So we just wanted to get ahead of that as the holidays begin and talk about the 12 days of stormwater pollution prevention.
The latest campaign is designed to encourage San Diegans to save energy, reduce the amount of waste ending up in our landfills, and reduce pollutants from contaminating the waterways.
Sometimes we go a little crazy and overconsume, and some of those gifts end up in the trash, unfortunately.
Let's get to the list, and you can check it twice. Action 1. Slay the plastic bags. Utilize reusable bags when shopping for gifts and holiday supplies. Action 2. Wrap sustainably by using biodegradable, reusable, or repurposed wrapping paper rather than traditional ones that might be slicked in plastic. Gift bags are also suggested. You can also wrap up those holiday leftovers sustainably.
Clear glass container. So when folks come over and you have those leftovers, you can have them take leftovers home with them without having to use single-use plastic.
Action 3. Deck the halls with natural decor or reuse ones from past Christmases. Action 4. Recycle holiday cheer by turning old cards into gift tags or ornaments, reducing the risk of paper clogging our storm drains. Action 5. Give the gift of donations by donating gently used and worn clothes and items. Action 6. This is the season to give back together by joining a local cleanup. Action 7. Hydrate sustainably by using a reusable water bottle while holiday shopping.
Just a chipped old mug.
Action 8. Reuse holiday containers like turning old mugs into planters. In some cases, you don't even have to wait for Christmas to repurpose.
Coming out of Halloween, we've taken this little pumpkin and added some native succulents in here.
Action 9. Shine your energy efficiency by using LED lights for Christmas to reduce energy consumption and save money on your electric bill. Action 10. Go digital this holiday by sending out electronic cards and invitations. Action 11. Winterize your stormwater-friendly yard. Pollutants like fertilizers and pesticides and unbagged pet waste can escape into the storm drains due to rain or watering your lawn. If you have the space.
A bioswale might be for you. Basically, water will flow through it and the vegetation and rocks will filter out the flow, slow it down as it reaches drains, curb cores, and flows back into our local creeks and rivers.
If you need more inspiration for the holidays and year-round, the Water Conservation Garden has you covered with 6 acres and over 50 exhibits to explore.
The Water Conservation Garden, one of the reasons it's so amazing is because it really is owned by the community.
If you're looking for sustainable gifts, how about this teapot repurposed as a vase for a succulent? Here's a creative take on a bird cage with thread spools and forged wood found in the garden. These are made by garden volunteers, and you can find them at their gift shop. And to round out the list, Action 12. Give your tree a second life by recycling it or using a fake tree for years to come. This one dates back to the 70s. Have a groovy holiday season, San Diego. For CBS 8, I'm Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis.
Truly good info. Thanks, Carlene. That'll do it for us. Thank you for your time. Thanks for staying informed. For CBS 8, I'm Jenny Day. Take good care.